Let's play hardball. For more info by Charlie Sykes and Corey Lewandowski, Pelosi won't budge on building the wall. He may demand expansive powers outside the normal constitutional role of a president. He's going to get down along the border of Mexico and start grabbing land down there from private ranchers, take that land by right of what, and spend all the billions he wants. You believe the President of the United States has power like that?
The president has the power to declare national emergencies, but are there limits to those powers? In order to get an answer for that, maybe we should start with the presidency of Harry Truman. In 1952, President Truman's presidency was not going well. The Korean War was raging on in its second year, and steel workers were threatening to go on strike, which would jeopardize the production of weapons that the military needed. President Truman asked Congress to intervene.
I recommend that the Congress enact legislation to authorize production facilities for materials in critically short supply, such as steel.
When Congress refused to act, President Harry Truman took a dramatic step. On April 8, 1952, he went on national television to explain.
I'm directing the Secretary of Commerce to take possession of the steel mills.
The steel companies fought back, bringing a case to the United States Supreme Court known as Youngstown Sheet and Tube Company versus Sawyer. By a vote of 6-3, the justices sided with the steel companies. Justice Hugo Black wrote in the majority opinion that the president's power, if any, to issue the order must stem either from an act of Congress or from the Constitution itself.
Madam Speaker! The President of the United States!
President Trump declared during his second State of the Union address that,
"But the proper wall never got built. I will get it built."
in some ways, President Trump is facing the same situation as President Truman, with Congress unlikely to give him what he wants. Is that it looks like the only way that wall will be built is if he declares a national emergency. If you look at the southern border, the vast majority of land where there is no wall is private property. So just like Truman, Donald Trump's emergency order would require the taking of private property. Any order would likely to be tied up in the courts, and it's unclear what the courts would eventually decide. But what is clear is that if President Trump declares a national emergency, it would set a dramatic precedent that future Democratic presidents might apply to their own agenda. Might a Democratic president declare a national emergency on climate change, or a variety of issues in which they could say that if Congress won't act, I will use my emergency powers to issue vast and sweeping edicts. So as the president considers whether to issue a national emergency, Republicans and conservatives ought to be very, very careful about what they wish for.